disabled just to give myself a tax cut? We can't afford it. And I want you guys to know I will never turn Medicare into a voucher. No American should ever have to spend their golden years at the mercy of insurance companies. They should retire with dignity and the respect that they've earned. We'll reform and strengthen Medicare for the long haul, but we'll do it by reducing the actual cost of care, not by dumping those costs onto seniors. And we're going to keep the promise of Social Security. We'll strengthen it, but we're not going to turn it over to Wall Street. Obviously, Governor Romney and I have a lot of differences when it comes to domestic policy, but our prosperity here at home is linked to what happens abroad. 4 years ago, I promised to end the war in Iraq. We did. I said we responsibly wind down the war in Afghanistan, and we are. We've got a new tower that's rising over the New York skyline, and meanwhile, Al-Qaeda's on the path to defeat, and Osama bin Laden is dead. As we saw just a few days ago, we still face some serious threats in the world. And that's why, as long as I'm Commander-in-Chief, we're going to maintain the strongest military the world's ever known. And when our troops come home and they take off their uniform, we're going to serve them as well as they serve us, because he said the way we entered the war in Iraq was tragic. He still hasn't explained what his policy in Afghanistan will be. But I have, and I will. And one more thing. I will use the money we're no longer spending on war to pay down our debt and to put more people back to work. Nation building right here in Ohio. Right here in Ohio. So, this is the choice that you face. This is what this election comes down to. And over the next 41 days, you will be seeing more money than has ever been spent. A whole bunch of it. On the other side, folks who are writing $10 million checks to these super PACs. And they'll tell you that bigger tax cuts, fewer regulations are the only way to go. Their basic argument is, since government can't do everything, it should do almost nothing. Their basic theory is you're on your own. If you can't afford health insurance, hope you don't get sick. If a company's releasing toxic pollution that your kids are breathing, well, that's the price of progress. If you can't afford to start a business or go to college, just borrow more money from your parents. Let me tell you something. That's not who we are. Right. That's not what this country is about. That's right. We don't think government can solve all our problems, but we don't think it's the source of all our problems either. That's right. Just like we don't think that folks who are having a tough time are our problem. Or welfare recipients are our problem, or corporations are our problem, or unions are our problem, immigrants or gays, all the other groups that we're told to blame for our troubles. Because here in America, we believe we're in this thing together. We believe we've got responsibilities to look after ourselves and work hard and show individual initiative, but we also believe we have responsibilities to each other and to this country and to future generations. to make sure that America continues to be the place where there's more opportunity and possibility than any other nation on earth. That's what we believe. That's what we're fighting for. We understand that America is not about what can be done for us, it's about what can be done by us together. That's one man. That's one people. And that's what I've always said. That's why I ran for this office, because I have faith in you.
Yes.
4 years ago, I told you this wasn't about me. It was about you, the American people.
Yes.
You were the change. You are the reason a mother in Cleveland right now doesn't have to worry about her son being denied medical coverage because of some pre-existing condition. You made that happen. You're the reason a factory worker who lost his job in Toledo or Lordstown is back on the line, building some of the best schools in the world. You're the reason a student in Akron or Columbus or Bowling Green has some help paying for a college education.
Yes.
You're the reason a veteran can go to school on the new GI Bill. You're the reason a young immigrant who grew up here and went to school here and pledged allegiance to the flag is not in danger of being deported from the only country she's ever known. You're the reason some outstanding soldier won't be kicked out of our military because of who they are and who they love. Thousands of families have finally been able to welcome home their loved ones who served us so bravely. To say, welcome home.
Right.
And the interesting thing is, my opponent maybe doesn't understand this concept about how change happens, because I made this point down in Florida. I said one of the things we learned is we can't change Washington just from the inside. You got to change it from the outside.
That's right.
You change it with the help of ordinary Americans who are willing to make their voices heard. And you know, my opponent got really excited. He heard me say this. He changed his speech. He said, "I'm going to get the job done from the inside." That's what he said. I'm going to get the job done from the inside.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, what kind of inside job is he talking about?
Right.
The agenda of this Republican Congress? Because if he is, we don't want it. If he's talking about the inside job, letting oil companies write the energy policies, insurance companies writing healthcare policies, outsourcers rewriting our tax code, we don't need that. If he's talking about the inside job where politicians in Washington are controlling the healthcare choices that women are perfectly capable of making for themselves, change is hard. It takes more than one term or even one president.
That's right.
And you know, the way our democracy works, we're never going to get everything that each of us individually want, but if we're working together, you know, you can make things happen. Now, you can't make it happen if you write off half the nation before you take office. Well, it's interesting. In 2008, 47% of the country did not vote for me. They voted for John McCain. But on election night, in Grant Park in Chicago, I said to all those Americans who didn't vote for me, I said, I may not have won your vote, but I hear your voices.
That's right.
And I need your help. And I will be your president too. That's what I said. On television be fighting for you. Because I'm not fighting to create Democratic jobs or Republican jobs. I'm fighting to create American jobs. I'm not fighting to improve blue state schools or red state schools. I'm fighting to improve schools in the United States of America. And personal responsibility, those values that we believe in don't just belong to workers or businesses or the rich or the poor, the 53% or the 47%, 1% or the 99%. Those are American values. They belong to all of us. Yeah, so I want you guys to understand we are not as divided as our politics suggests.
Right.
I still believe